US in the crosshairs, why a crisis is looming over the Korean peninsula. How US is reacting to the North Korean aggressiveness. How should US protect its allies Japan and South Korea falling prey into crisis? Why China is not ready to support regime collapse in North Korea. What will happen if US deploys THAAD anti-missile system in South Korea and Japan? How Korean crisis is impacting the security situation in Asia-Pacific. GS Paper 2, Bilateral, Regional and Global Groupings and Agreements Involving India and or Affecting India's Interests. What is the context about? The director of the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency, Mike Pompeo, has warned that North Korea could well be just months away from developing the nuclear-tipped intercontinental ballistic missiles. That missile may have the ability to hit the American mainland. It has tested ICBMs with a range that could strike the Pacific coast of the U.S., though these are not yet of operational quality. In parallel with developing its nuclear weapons capability, North Korea has also been conducting a series of missile tests of different range. How US is reacting to the North Korean aggressiveness. The US has been unable to prevent North Korea from developing a nuclear arsenal, which may now number more than a dozen weapons. The focus has therefore shifted to preventing the country from acquiring a delivery capability that extends to the US homeland. North Korea has already crossed the threshold in terms of having a credible nuclear arsenal and a reasonably sophisticated delivery system with intercontinental range. Therefore, the only option short of war to respond to this threat would be to build and deploy an effective and credible deterrent against it. How should US protect its allies Japan and South Korea falling prey into crisis? US stance of preventing North Korea from accessing the nuclear arsenals is not reassuring to its allies, South Korea and Japan, who are covered by the US nuclear umbrella. North Korea already has the capability to strike these two countries with fully tested missiles of a shorter range. The US was unable or unwilling to use coercive force to prevent it. If it is now willing to risk using force to prevent North Korea from graduating to a capability to strike the US itself, then it may be inferred that the assurance to its allies is of lesser importance. The deployment of the THAAD anti-missile system in South Korea and Japan offers some protection. What will happen if US deploys THAAD anti-missile system in South Korea and Japan? With the deployment of the THAAD anti-missile system in South Korea and Japan, US may bring China and Russia into the equation since they believe their own nuclear deterrent has been rendered less effective as a result. Why China is not ready to support regime collapse in North Korea. China has refrained from applying an economic squeeze on a scale which might lead to a regime collapse in North Korea with all its negative and unpredictable consequences. China is unlikely to accept a situation where it may be inundated with large number of refugees escaping political and economic collapse. Nor would it accept the possible incorporation of the North into South Korea, resulting in a much stronger neighbor at its doorstep. Even if South Korea were to exit its military alliance with the US, it would still be difficult for China to accept a reunified Korea. If this were to happen, the security situation in Northeast Asia would undergo a dramatic transformation. How Korean crisis is impacting the security situation in Asia-Pacific. It is possible that Japan and even South Korea may decide that becoming nuclear-armed states themselves may be the only effective means of ensuring their security. These developments will fundamentally alter the security situation in Asia-Pacific in unpredictable ways. On balance, the emergence of these two countries friendly to India as nuclear weapon states may not be unwelcome and may seriously limit China's room for maneuver. There will be risks and dangers, but preferable to a war on the Korean peninsula.